Hi there everyone. In this course I'm wanting to show you how to do freeform crocheting. Now freeform crocheting is very different to following a pattern. For this you're going to design your own top, or if you want to do a scarf you could do that, but there's no pattern that you follow. So if you don't like following a pattern, this is definitely the course for you. It's exciting to do this, and you will definitely learn a lot of things about crocheting, how stitches work together, the different heights of your stitches, how to put them together. There's just so much that goes into freeform crocheting, and you get a lot of different styles of freeform crocheting. What I'm going to show you in this course is really called doodling. It's like taking a pen and piece of paper and you just doodle. You just write and do whatever. That's exactly what you're doing. And this is my doodle top, if you want to call it that. It's just totally free form. I had no pattern. I started in one section and I just did whatever I felt like. It's just going from one stitch to another. And this is what my top looks like. You can obviously design your own. What I'm going to do is we're going to cut out our own pattern, whether you use an existing top of your own or whether you use a pattern, whichever you want, and then you're going to crochet on top of that and pin it down. So you don't need anything besides your crochet hook and your yarn, and you're going to need either your own kind of a top or a pattern from a pattern, but I'll share that with you as we go along, and then we're going to just doodle. Now this is very much like abstract painting, so that being said, it's your own design. You know, you're going to do exactly what you want. So we're going to make this. I made mine slightly harder in the sense that it had a round bottom here, but you can do whatever you want if you're just going to go straight. And if you don't want to start off with such a big garment, you can start off just making a scarf if you get a big rectangle and doodle on that. And then I'm going to show you how to make this kind of a bracelet, but it's also going to be your own design. You don't have to follow mine. This is where we're going to go row by row, so it's a little bit different to this. This isn't row by row, this is just all over the show. And this is also your own design, no pattern needed. I will show you how to make this little flower. That's the only real little pattern that you need, but you could design your own flowers. So basically in this course we're going to have a lot of fun. You're going to let your hair down, let your creative juices flow, and we're just going to have fun. So yeah, let's get started. This course I'm wanting to really broaden your horizons to crocheting and show you a very different form, a different side to crocheting. What I want to show you is freeform crocheting. Now freeform crocheting does take on very different looks. You've got your realism, if I can call it realism, and your abstract. The abstract is where you really just do whatever you want to do. You don't have a set pattern. So if you're one of those people that love to crochet but you do not want to follow a pattern, or you find it hard to follow a pattern, this is the ideal course for you, because what I'm going to show you is how we just doodle along and do whatever you want to. You do get another style of free-form crocheting is where you can follow a pattern for a motif and then you put them together your own way. So there are different variations. I'm going to show you one or two different styles so that you can get familiar with freeform crocheting. The top that I made in this video is actually the very first time that I've actually doodled a top for myself or for anybody. So it was actually really exciting. You'll find that you learn so much that it's very exciting. You learn a lot. You really do. You learn a lot about crocheting, how your crochet hook and your yarn work together, the different, you'll see as you do it, you'll see how much you really learn. So yeah, that's basically what this course is about. I'm going to show you how to, I'm actually going to make a top. So if you find it's a bit too hard to start off by doing a top, feel free to make a scarf and just get the size of the scarf you want and we'll doodle on that. I can't show you the realism, if I call it realism, and the doodling in this course. I can only show you the one. So I'm going to show you the doodling in this course, and later on I can do something in free form in the realism, if I call it realism. But yeah, so that's basically what I'm going to be showing you. And the one nice thing about your free form crocheting, especially in the real abstract sense, is that you learn so much about crocheting. It'll really take you to another level in your work when you actually do follow a pattern or whatever. You kind of see how different stitches relate to each other, the different sizes of stitches, the different heights. You know, it's kind of hard to explain. Once you're doing it, you'll see that it'll definitely take you to another level with your crocheting, because just the way the yarn and the hook and the stitches all intermingle and work together, that's what's going to take you to a new level in your work. And you'll see, you know, if you're using a double crochet and you have a little single crochet next to it, you'll see the difference in the height in stitches and what it does when you use the two together. Or if you use a double crochet and then a slip stitch, you're going to have to bend that double crochet so that it goes down to the level of the slip stitch, and you'll see how your fabric responds to what you are doing. So there are a lot of advantages of actually doing this, just diving in and doing it. And you can start with something really simple. It doesn't have to be a top, which we are actually going to do. It could just be something really small, like a small little scarf or something like that. And as I say, as you're crocheting, enjoy the journey. Start off with something small and you grow and you do it bigger and bigger and bigger, and enjoy your journey. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. So I'm very excited to share this style of crocheting with you. You want to have an idea about whether you want your... I'm going to be talking about a garment, so if you don't actually want to make this top and you want to make something else, that's also fine. Just use whatever I'm saying towards that. But basically, you need to have an idea. Do you want your garment very lacy, or do you want it more dense? If you want it more dense, you're going to make your stitches a lot closer to each other, and you're not going to use as many chains to go from one stitch to the other. So from that perspective, you're going to have a general idea about that. I'm actually using, I love lace. I love the lacy look. So my garment's going to be a little bit more lacy, and I'm going to be using a fairly large hook, a 6.5 millimeters. So it's not huge, but it's going to be a little bit lacier, and that's the style I've gone. But of course, you can choose whatever style you want to, because I'm just showing you the guidelines to doing this. So you can go with a thin cotton and a thin hook, or you can go with a larger hook, and it's going to be totally up to you. This is going to be your project and you're going to design it. So that's really exciting too. It's nice to know that, hey, I designed my own garment. So that's what I'm going to show you what to do. The aim of your freeform, this is your biggest challenge, I would say, is that you're going to want to keep your fabric straight, flat. You can go all over the place, but you don't want to have, unless it's the style that you want, of course, you don't want it ruffling or you don't want it pulling. If you do that, you're going to have a garment that looks very different. Okay? There's no wrong garment, let's be honest, because it's what you like. You know, if you like it like that, you like a lot of frills in here and not flat, then that's great. The top that I'm wearing is a freeform, and I will show you a few things that I've done. This is a freeform top that I'm actually wearing. So what I'm saying is, if you want it all bunchy like this, you're going to be putting on a lot of extra stitches, and you're probably not going to want it. You want it to lie flat. As you can see, my garment is lying flat. You don't have hundreds of things pulling this way and then others ruffling up. So that, I would say, is going to be your greatest challenge, that you want to keep it flat. And it's very simple. Don't be scared off by that. It's really easy to know if it's flat or not, because you can see. As you go, you're going to see, and we're going to work on that, and I'll show you how to do that. Basically, you want to let your crochet work tell you what to do. You're not following rules. Your crochet work, your fabric is telling you exactly what to do. And if you just watch it and look at the signs on your fabric, hey, you're going to have a good garment. Okay, we're going to be using a template to make our top. And I'm going to show you what I mean by a template and what we're going to do in that. It's going to be your choice. I prefer you to, if you follow me with this abstract one, it's going to be easier. But you can make motifs. You can make your own motif. Once again, just make abstract motifs. And I'm going to show you how to do all of that in this actual course. It's very exciting. We're going to have a lot of fun doing this. So I'm pleased that you've joined me and that you're going to design your own top, or whatever you decide to make. Alright, so that's basically enough of my talking. I want to do some showing now. I want to show you exactly what I mean, and I'm going to show you a few of the projects that I've made and where we go from here. So yeah, let's keep going. Alright, so I wanted to show you a few of the things that I have made. So this is a scarf that I made. Now this, what I did was I made the flower. I did this flower, and then I did the leaves with a stem as well. And then all that I did, I made a whole bunch of them. So there's 1, 2, I made a bunch in different colors. And then what you do is you simply, and I put this onto a scarf that I already had. It was a long rectangle, and I used that. So I pinned these flowers onto the scarf itself, and then I worked all this black mesh around it. As you see, I didn't bother to do the inside because I didn't feel it necessary. Now you can, I could have come in and done some mesh, but I would have to have stopped and started with my yarn, which I didn't want to do. I did all of this in one go, and it's all it is double crochets and joining it into one of the other loops. So it's really not hard, it's fun. This would be considered a little bit more your realism freeform, because I followed a pattern for my flower, but then the rest I didn't, and I just joined it freeform. So however you want to call it, that's how that one is. Then this jacket that I made, this is one of my favorites. I absolutely love this. It's just a little jacket, and this is also more your realism crocheting. I did all of these flowers, and then I also had a template, and I pinned them on. You can sew them onto your pattern. I should say a pattern, not a template. Your pattern that you just cut out on a piece of fabric. Then I pinned it on, or you can sew it on, and then all this mesh is what I did. You can see it better there. I did all this mesh in between it, and then I came back and I made a border on it. But it's fairly long, and it's got its little tie in the front. It doesn't have anything for buttons. I didn't want to fool around with buttons. It doesn't need it. But yeah, like I say, this would probably be a bit more your realism one. It's also free form because there was no set pattern except for my motif. So, you know, that's just the different style. As I say, I've done more realism than abstract. I will show you my other, which we're busy working with. Alright, now this one is what I'm busy working on. I'm not actually doing this project with you. I just wanted to show you. This is what you put it on. You can either cut it out yourself or from an existing garment, or you can get a pattern wherever. And then all I've done is I've made motifs, and I'm now busy joining them together. And because I've used very thin cotton, this takes a long time. This has taken me quite some time to get this mesh in between. And I try and do it so that I don't break my thread off, but it's great to break your thread off. I actually did on the one side. So that's just another example. This garment would probably be considered more like Irish crocheting. Irish crocheting has got motifs, and you join it with this kind of a mesh. So that would probably be considered Irish crocheting, except sometimes a lot of the Irish crocheting, they work over a padded cord, which I don't want to get into, but you take a piece of your cotton and you're working over that. It just makes it a little bit thicker, but I didn't do that, and I don't want to show you too much all at once. But this is just mesh, and you get different meshes which you can use. I just used the standard mesh, but there are a lot of different types of backgrounds that you can use. I'm basically going to be working on this project with you, showing you the real freeform style. We will be making a bracelet, which I've started here, and this is going to be in row by row. And as I say, with this one, I made sure that I had 12 stitches all the time, and it keeps it in this rectangular size, which is what I wanted. And I'm going to be showing you how to do that. I will show you a little bit of the how to do your mesh in between your actual motifs, if that's a style that you like. But I'm going to be focusing on this freeform, freestyle pattern that we're doing here. Alright, so this is the one that I'm actually working on, which is totally abstract. I have no pattern whatsoever, and this is what we're going to do. I'm going to show you how to do this. It's really fun. This is really called doodling. I'm just doodling with my yarn and learning what I can. I did a slight form of a flower over there, a few kind of petals, you know, so I had an idea there, but generally all of this I started off in the center and I just kept going. So this is what I'm going to be showing you because it's fun, and if you're scared of patterns, go ahead with this. And I'm just using this garment, but I'm going to show you now what to do for your template so that you can actually, your pattern, you can either use an existing garment, which I have over here, or you can use your garment and you can cut it out.